Okay, ladies and gentlemen, they're getting ready to bring in the New World Order. Because there's news that someone sent me some articles that David Rockefeller and all those other people, they left the United States. They're no longer in the United States because they know there's coming a catastrophe. And David Rockefeller actually stripped the Federal Reserve assets. He took all the assets and he left. And then what they were also saying was on the TV, somebody told me they were watching the TV, and they said the economy is about to collapse. They said it's just like a big bubble. It's just waiting to collapse, which is true. Because history shows that you cannot continue printing more money and more money and more money and more money and more money that you don't have. It's impossible. The more you print, the more useless the money gets, until you go into hyperinflation, and then eventually it's just going to collapse. This is exactly what they want to do. They want to collapse the economy of the United States. Well, not just the United States, but the whole world. But first, the elite are dealing with the United States, and then the rest of the world will fall. Because when the United States economy collapses, the whole world is going down with it. Put it that way. Because the United States economy affects the whole entire world. So, but I want to talk about this. Yeah, the global elitists has just finished creating an army. They're going to enforce the New World Order by this new powerful army that they have just finished creating. And there'll be nobody will be able to stop them. If they have to kill people, they will. Well, they're already going to do it. It's already part of their plan. NATO strategy is supporting world government. So this is what they're bringing in, is a one world government. But for those of you that have been listening to my videos, you already know, because I already talked about that. I get into more depth, and I explain it all. But this is what I want to be talking about, is this. About Obama. Now, I don't know if he's still going to Israel or not. Because he said to Israel, to Benjamin Netanyahu, that if Israel does not create a new government, he's not going. So I don't know if he's still going or not. I don't know if Israel created a new government or not. But this is what I believe. So I was talking to someone last night. They told me that Russia said that they will do whatever it takes to make them sign the peace treaty. Said that to the United States. So, if this happens, I believe with all of my heart that the United States of America, as we know it, is going to see judgments that they have never, ever seen ever before in their history. Because Obama wants to enforce it. How does he want to bring peace to the Middle East? He wants Israel to give up part of their land. They want to divide the land for peace. So if that happens, judgment is coming to America. Okay? God showed this to so many people. He revealed this to. And so many people are leaving the United States. They're getting out of the United States. Because the United States is going to break in pieces. Okay? God says that he would break the nations in pieces, whoever goes against Israel. And that's what Obama is doing. He's doing it with an iron fist. So that's what's going to happen. Because history has shown each time they tried to part the land that something devastating has always happened. Okay? Like George Bush Sr. He was having a meeting with, what's it called? Yeah. He was having a meeting talking about parting the land of Israel for peace. Now, at the same time, while he was having that meeting, there was a hurricane forming. Okay, there was a hurricane forming. They said this was strange because there was strange weather patterns. They said this never happens. This only happens every 100 years or so. But the hurricane should have went the other way, but it went the opposite way. It went towards President Bush's house, Senior Bush, and it destroyed his house completely, and all his furniture got blown out. It got totally destroyed, and that's not the first incident. Like, it's always something happened each time they tried to part the land. Like, what's his name? Yeah, the prime in Britain, they were accusing Israel because Israel was holding up these signs for the tourists that come and visit Israel. They can go on tours. They can go see the what's it called? Yeah, the Wailing Wall. And then the people of Britain were criticizing them. Hey, what are you doing? You don't obfuscate that property, and they were mouthing off to them. So what happened? A volcano erupted, and the ashes came over, and smoke and everything came over Britain. It affected the economy. They shut down the airports, and so on. Because God is true to His word, where He says, I will bless those that bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. So, if Obama is actually going to do what he says he's going to do, there's going to be huge earthquakes in the United States. There will probably be hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, whatever God will decide to do. It's going to happen. So, and plus all the visions that God has given people. Like David Wilkerson. He warned that he saw 1,000 fires burning in New York City. He saw 1,000 fires burning in New York City. He said that there's going to be army tanks on the streets. The fire is going to spread from New York City to New Jersey and so on. And I don't know if this happened yet, but he said he saw that, what's it called? Yeah, America. There's coming a famine to America. This will happen by a flood. It's going to cut off the food supply, so they will not be able to bring food in. There'll be food shortages. So I don't know if that has happened yet in history, but that's what he saw. He saw the same thing with Russia. It's going to have a famine. And plus, if Russia's involved, Russia's going to get the judgment as well. Each country goes up against Israel, has to deal with God. God's going to deal with them. He's going to pour His wrath upon them. And the wrath of God is already upon America for all the stuff that's happening. Because of all the stuff that they have done, taking God out, and so on and so on and so on. And all the other stuff that has happened. America is not blessed as it used to be. They've turned their back on God, you name it. They're accepting new laws, homosexuality, this and this and this and that. And that new thing, what's it called, gay church that they're opening up in Connecticut. Gay people, gay pastors. It's just sick to talk about. That's why the judgment of God is going to fall on the United States. Whatever a nation does to Israel, God will do to them. So that's what I wanted to let you guys be aware of, just in case. And plus, FEMA is actually saying to stock up food and stuff, because they know something's coming. Because they know that the economy is not going to be held up much longer, so they're telling people in advance, just in case of a state of emergency, to do this and all this other stuff. So this is all I got to say. I just want to let you guys be aware of this trip that Obama is going to Israel. No, Obama is not the Antichrist, okay? These are just signs about peace treaties. The only one that will ever succeed is the Antichrist. The Antichrist is the only one that will be able to make that peace treaty, and it will last. Well, he's going to sign it for 7 years, but it's only going to last for 3.5 years. But Obama is not the Antichrist, because the Antichrist is coming out of Europe. The Bible's clear on that. He'll come out of Europe, and so on. So this is all I got to say. So what I'm saying. If Obama parts the land of Israel, except to see judgments in America. And they're threatening Washington too. They are threatening Washington that they're going to nuke Washington, D.C., okay? They're going to nuke Washington. So who knows if Obama's coming back to the States or not. I don't know. Because even the Muslims are threatening him. Hamas is threatening him not to come near the Temple Mount. They're planning stuff. So who knows if Obama's coming back or not. So that's all I wanted to say is they're threatening to nuke the United States. Like I've been telling people about this for months. And people were making fun of me. Ah, dude, you're crazy. Listen to what you're saying. And the reason why I told these people this is because of things that I was listening to. And God showed this to many prophets, many true people that He revealed this to. He gave them revelations that when America thinks they're in peace and safety, that's when Russia is going to come and attack the United States, because Russia has discovered where America's nuclear facility is, and they're going to attack it. China and Russia are going to attack the United States, and so on, by Russian submarines, like Dmitry Duduman. He said that the Russians are going to attack the States, with China as well. And Henry Groover, he said he saw that a Russian submarine on American soil came out of the water, fired a missile over New York City, and he saw the whole entire city of New York just burned to the ground. It was totally disintegrated before his eyes, and so on. And San Francisco, all those places are going to be destroyed. Dmitry Duduman said he saw Las Vegas will burn because its sins are like Sodom and Gomorrah. Miami, Florida will burn because the city is like Sodom and Gomorrah. The sins are like Sodom and Gomorrah. He said, and one day America will burn. Okay? He's not the only one. There's so many other visions that people have had that everything this far has happened. So that's all I wanted to say. And plus, Los Angeles is supposed to be getting hit with a 9.0 or 10 or even 11 magnitude earthquake very soon. They said we're overdue. Los Angeles is overdue to get hit by a massive earthquake. And there's coming 100-foot tsunamis to the east and to the west coast of the United States as well. Like, there's so many things that it's going to cause worldwide chaos. When this happens, the whole economy is going to just collapse. It's going to be affected. But even before that, it may happen even before that. Because right now, the economy is about to crash. It's like blowing a balloon. You cannot continue blowing a balloon. Eventually, it's going to pop. Same thing. But then printing money and more money and more money. The economy is just going to crash. This is exactly what they want to do. Because they want to bring in a new world order. Think about it. The system that we have now, before they can bring in the new system, which is a new world order, or one world financial system, the world's financial system now, the world system now has to fail. It has to crumble and crash before they can bring in their new system. That's why in one of David Rockefeller's memoirs, he says, we are on the verge of a global transformation. All that we need is a major crisis, and the nations will accept the new world order. And Henry Kissinger, when they were interviewing him, said we have elected Obama at this time in history to create the new world order. And Henry Kissinger said that we must forge ahead or retreat to chaos. And there's so many other things. Like Senior Bush talked about it in 1991, on September 11th, 1991. There's a new world coming into view. And he goes on. You guys can see that speech on YouTube. These people give no bones about it. They're bringing in world government. The people that were so dogmatic about it were Senior Bush and Gorbachev, the communists of Russia. And China's calling for a global currency. Like, I can go on and on and on. This is what's happening. So they're going to destroy the Bill of Rights, Constitution, you name it. Because Obama, he does not stand for the American people. He does not stand for the Bill of Rights or the Constitution. He stands for the United Nations, and the United Nations agenda is world government. That's why they're trying their very best right now at this time to confiscate the firearms, because they want total control. So this is what I wanted to say. This is it. So this is all I wanted to say, because I wanted to make sure that you guys get this message. My other messages you guys can listen to. The United States, the judgment of God is going to fall on the United States, and so on. Because if Obama does what he does, believe me, the wrath of God is going to fall on America. So this is all I gotta say, and God bless you.